you join me? Are you coming to join me, kitten? Okay. Let us start by jumping up onto our feet. I'm going to start with a little spinal roll. Let me just adjust this. Okay, stand up nice and tall, soft knees, heavy arms, drop your chin to your chest, and really exaggerate, rolling down, one vertebrae at a time, until you're as far over as you can be. Make sure your head is completely released. Give your arms a little wiggle. And give yourself a little sway side to side. Find stillness again for me. Nod and shake the head. And then slowly rolling up from the bottom of your spine, one vertebrae at a time. Your head should be the last thing to come back up. And then right on the tippy toes, reach the arms up, get as tall as you can. A little bit of a bend side to side. All right. We're going to do a little windmill. So stand with your legs apart, arms in a little star. Pop your right hand onto your belly. Reach the left arm up and over, stretching down the side of the body. Then flatten your back, reach to the wall. Take your left hand to your right foot. Take both hands into the center. Take your right hand to your left foot. Reach that right arm forwards, flatten out your back. And then reach up and over. Come back up into a star position and we'll change direction. So left hand to the belly, right hand reaching up and over. Flatten your back, reach forward. Right hand to left foot. Both hands into the center. Left hand to right foot. Reaching forwards, stretch that arm. And up and over. Back into a star position. And then we're going to do another kind of windmill variation. We're also going to do a third windmill variation. Right hand to left foot. Back to a star. And to the other side. So you can soften your knees a little bit and just reach down as far as you can, depending on your flexibility. And try and get that top arm to reach up to the roof. So you get a little bit of a stretch through your back. Do another 3 of these. All right. So we're going to do a little back and hip sequence on one side of the body and then the other side of the body. So first thing we're going to do is a lying down windmill. What's the best way for me to demo? So you want legs up at 90 degrees. You lie on your back, but you're going to start, sorry, that didn't explain very well. Lie on your left side with your right leg up, both legs at 90 degrees. You can just pop your head on the floor. And then to shift onto your back, you're going to take the top arm, the right arm, extend it up overhead past your ear. Keep your legs on the ground and then reach that right arm over to the other side. Make sure you look at it the whole time. And again, sweep that arm up past the ear and back on top of the left hand. So I'm going to stay here. Sweeping our arm up and over, trying to keep our knees firmly on the ground, locked together, and our left arm pinned to the floor as well. You can pause at any point of the movement that feels like it's stretching you the most. We'll do another 3 windmills. So reach that arm up and over. Nice and controlled. One more. All right, flip onto your back. We're going to do a figure 4 stretch with our right ankle coming across our left knee. So once you've got your leg up, lift the left foot off the floor, interlace your hands behind your left thigh, and then pull in towards the chest. Make sure you've got your left foot flexed and you're driving, sorry, your right foot flexed and you're driving that right knee away from the center of your body. Pull in nice and tight to the chest and then press that right knee away. You might be able to stick your elbow in there just to add a little bit of pressure. Breathe nice and deeply into your belly. Pop your left foot back on the floor. We're going to hug our right knee straight up into our chest. Let your left leg stretch along the ground. So think about pulling that knee completely up towards the shoulder or towards the neck, over the top of your left ribs. And really relax the rest of the body. Shut your eyes down as you do this. Now I want you to grab your right ankle with your left hand. Start drawing that ankle in towards your belly button so your knee angles out a little wider outside the rib cage. So it's kind of like doing a pigeon pose but lying down. Make sure the shoulders are nice and relaxed. Hug that knee right in towards the armpit. Keeping that left leg stretched out along the ground, we'll now take our right leg across the body, similar to the windmill we did at the start. This time our left leg is stretched out. Both arms are extended outside our shoulders, and you're going to look away towards your right hand. So try and keep your right knee in the back of your right hand to the floor. Come back into center. Hug both knees into your chest and just make a couple of little circles through the lower back. Changing direction. All right, come into a seated position. So still on the right side, we're going to go into our normal pigeon pose. So right leg in front, left leg extended back behind. And then control the depth of the stretch by controlling where your right foot is. So the closer it is in towards your pelvis, the less of a stretch you'll get, and the further out in front of the body it is, the harder the stretch will be. Once you've found a position that's comfortable for you, pop down on the forearms, or you can drop your head down completely. And just make sure that you're not leaning your body off to the right. Both hips are square and facing the floor. We're not lifting our left hip off the ground. If you start to feel sort of comfortable in that position, just deepen the stretch a little bit so you can get that sensation back. Reach your arms along the floor now and drop your head onto the ground. Hands to the floor and pressing your body into more of an upright position. And then just wiggle out of that one. Pop up into a 90-degree lunge, right leg forward still. Start by tucking the pelvis, pressing our hips through, drawing your belly button into your spine and opening up through that left hip flexor. Really squeeze your glutes nice and tight. Make sure your head's neutral, so eyes just looking forward. Sweep your left arm up, reach overhead, and then tilt off to the side. Make sure you're not bending forwards or backwards. Bring that arm back down. And then you can pop your hand on the floor if you need. For balance, you're going to pick that back foot up into a quad stretch. So drawing your heel in towards your bum. Again, try and keep your pelvis tucked, pressing your hips open and forward. Gently release that back leg. And we're going to pop onto our other side now. So we start off with our side lying windmill. So now left leg is up, both legs are out at 90 degrees. Hands are extended in front of our body at shoulder height. Head is resting on the floor. Keeping our knees and feet squeezed together. You're going to swing that arm up and overhead. And then out in line with your left shoulder, tracking the movement with your eyes as much as you can. Nice and slowly. Really reach the arm up as high as you possibly can. And try and keep your legs at 90 degrees in front of the body. Do 3 more. Nice and slowly. One more rep. All right. Gently flip over onto your back. We'll go into our lying down figure 4. So popping your left ankle across your right knee, lifting that right foot off the floor, locking your hands behind your right thigh, flex the left foot, drive your left knee away from your body. breathing nice and deeply. Just shut your eyes down here. Lower your right foot back to the floor. Stretch your right leg out along the ground, hugging your left knee straight up towards your chest. Keeping the legs pretty narrow in this position. So think about drawing your thigh on top of the rib cage. Shoulders relaxed. Draw that knee in a little wider now. So towards the armpit rather than across the ribs. Take your right hand to that left ankle and start drawing your ankle or your foot in towards your belly button. So again, we're mimicking that pigeon pose. Release your ankle, and we're going to take that left leg up and across the body at 90 degrees. Both arms reaching out at shoulder height and looking away towards your left hand. Trying to keep left knee and the back of the left hand on the floor. Breathe nice and deeply into the twist. Gently come back into the center. Hug both knees into your chest. Now make those little circles again, couple in one direction, and then change the direction. All right, back to pigeon pose with our left leg forward. Stretch that right leg away. Remember, adjust how much of a stretch you get by adjusting where that left foot is. Once you're in a nice comfy position, but one that you feel is pulling you into that stretch, come down onto your forearms and just look down at the ground for me. Trying to keep both of our hip bones facing the floor, checking that you're not tilting off towards the left side. So your left bum cheek should be up and away from the ground. Reach your arms out forward for me and drop your head towards the ground. Place your hands flat on the floor, straight under the shoulders, and reach the chest up. Gently roll off out of that pigeon. And then up into a 90-degree lunge, left leg forward. And again, tucking the pelvis, keeping our rib cage pulled in nice and tight. Squeezing the glutes as hard as we can to open up through the right hip. Keep your shoulders down, eyes looking straight ahead. All right, sweep that right arm up and overhead, and then tilt off to the side, making sure you're going straight sideways rather than tilting forwards or backwards. Press the hips forward as much as you can. And that right arm back down. You can pop your left hand to the floor for balance. Pick up that right heel and into a quad stretch. Again, trying to maintain that tucked pelvis position. Gently release that back leg. All right. So we are going to stretch out a little bit through the groin and through our adductors, so inner thigh. So we're going to start off with a Cossack lunge. So it doesn't matter what leg you start on because we swap side to side, but come down into a crouch position. The straight leg is extended along the floor and you should get a stretch through that thigh and groin, and then keeping your hands on the ground, you shift your weight to the other side, try and keep your body as low as possible. And spend a couple of seconds on each side, and then try to keep the body low to the floor. Just swapping when you feel like you're ready to, side to side. Try and get that bent leg nice and open for me. Out wide rather than pointing forwards. We'll do 3 more. Last one. Okay, we're going to go into a froggy stretch now. So to start off, we want to have our legs at a right angle. So slide the knees out as wide as is comfortable. Toes driving outside the body and your shins are straight, ankles underneath the knees. So we're not tucking our feet in towards our hips. Elbows under the shoulders, and try and get your hips in line with your knees as well. Once you're here, just down on the forearms, head looking at the floor. Nice deep breaths. We'll let gravity do the work for us for a little bit. Once you feel your hips start to open, you can slide a little wider into the stretch. Gently start rocking backwards and forwards. Doesn't need to be a big movement. Just an inch or two forwards and back into that start position. Find stillness for me. Draw the toes together behind your bum and keep rocking. And you'll find you've got a little bit more movement through the hips now. To make it slightly bigger movement for me. find stillness again. And you can either stay on the forearms, or if you can, pull out the hands and just lift your chest up a little bit. Press the hips back towards your feet. Gently bring the legs together. Always a little sensitive coming out of that position. Sit down onto your heels and just a little rock side to side, just to relax the hips. And last thing we're going to do is just stretch out our shoulders a little bit by doing a tricep stretch with a side bend. So we'll start with left arm reaching down behind the shoulder blades, right hand onto that elbow, drawing that hand down as far as we can, down our back, and then leaning away. So left arm behind the back, leaning to the right. Make sure you're not pulling your chin towards your chest. Keep your chest proud. Rock back to center. And swap, right hand reaching down, left hand presses it a little bit further, leaning towards the left. All right, release that. Give the shoulders a little bit of a roll, and we're all done. Lovely work.